George's death was delicately depicted in Young Sheldon Season 7, but a startlingly inappropriate promo from CBS marred the occasion. An unplanned death threatened George's character development, shocking Sheldon and their family and leaving spectators speechless. Instead of ending the show with a cheerful repeat promo, CBS might have chosen a more melancholic tone to fit the tragedy. Young Sheldon Season 7 perfectly portrayed George's death despite the pressure to do it correctly. Nonetheless, it was marred by a mistake made by CBS. George was developed over the course of 7 years in the prequel, going from being a punchline on The Big Bang Theory to a flawed but devoted father. Sheldon and Mary's story provided most of the information about the Cooper patriarch's arrival in Young Sheldon. Regretfully, they were fond of relating unpleasant stories about George, which served to reinforce the perception that he was a nasty guy. Throughout its existence, the offshoot was against this. But just when his reputation was completely restored, Young Sheldon had to pull out the worst tragedy of all: his demise. Even if George wasn't a flawless father, his commitment to his family was undeniable, which is why the news of his infidelity scandal had to be refuted. It was made the more melancholy by the fact that, in Young Sheldon Season 7, things were finally improving for the Cooper patriarch after a difficult time. In spite of this, the incident was expertly written by the writers. It was terrifying when George's death actually occurred, even though it was long anticipated and his fate was determined. Positive CBS credits immediately followed the shocking news of George's death. The conclusion of Young Sheldon Season 7, Episode 12, A New Home and a Traditional Texas Torture, revealed that George passed away due to a heart attack he suffered while on the job. Despite the fact that his cardiac problems had been thoroughly documented in the prelude, there had been absolutely no prior sign that he was experiencing health problems earlier in the day. Following the devastating news that Mary, Missy, and Mima had heard, the camera panned to Sheldon in the room's corner, his expression contorted. To give the audience a sense of what he was going through, the sounds in the background were hushed when he was shell-shocked. Before the screen went black, it was the final scene of Young Sheldon Season 7, Episode 12. Regretfully, CBS's cheerful credits sequence came right after, which was somewhat startling given what had just transpired. The scene that followed destroyed the moment. The audience was processing the shocking plot twist at the same time as Sheldon and the Coopers, who were still processing the news. The network's decision to cut the after-credits scenes short removes them out of the moment before they have a chance to sink in. Ahead of Monday, May 13th, the series finale, CBS aired a commercial for Young Sheldon reruns of the first 2 episodes while the credits were still rolling. Again, the clip's more carefree tone seemed out of keeping with the sadness of George's death, especially given the outings it was meant to promote. Nevertheless, CBS had the option to air a completely different clip at this time, the trailer for the Young Sheldon series finale. For the first part of the doubleheader send-off, the video provides a glimpse into the aftermath of the catastrophe, including brief clips from George's confirmed funeral. Compared to the humorous tone of the rerun promotional clip, it has a more serious tone that is fitting for the material. This and a muted, or perhaps silent, credit sequence would have made for the ideal way to wrap out Young Sheldon Season 7, Episode 12.